This is my Nintendo Switch 2, and honestly, I've barely used this thing. So instead of letting it sit around collecting dust, I had a brainwave. Can I turn my Switch 2 into a monitor for my computer? However, there's one slight problem. The Switch 2 has no video input anywhere, so I can't just plug this into my PC like a normal monitor. The only way this works is if I can somehow get the Switch browser to display my PC screen, which proved to be a lot more tedious than I thought. First, I tried Deskreen, which is basically made for turning any browser into a mirror of a screen. The Switch loaded absolutely nothing. Great start. Then I tried spacedesk, which actually worked perfectly on my phone, so my PC setup was not the problem. The Switch browser just refused to load the viewer at all. Then I tried VDO.Ninja, which is another browser-based screen sharing tool. Same deal. At this point, every normal way that I would have approached this failed. So I stopped trying to make this elegant and resorted to extreme measures. I made an ingenious website, and by ingenious, I mean incredibly stupid. Instead of streaming video to the Switch, my PC takes a screenshot, compresses it down to a tiny 360p image, and the Switch just refreshes that image over and over and over again. This is the worst monitor I have ever seen or ever used, but somehow it worked. Okay, so first I want to try basic desktop use now that this is working. Oh yeah, those are some nice frames that we're getting there. Oh boy. Let's see how it is navigating a website like, let's try apple.com. You know, this is all right. I mean, you can make out what that says. It says Star City, Propeller. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can make out what it says. It's just at an incredibly low frame rate. Like it's like using a computer from 20 years ago on modern web browsers today. This is terrible. Oh boy. Okay, now for something a little bit more still. So, Task Manager. For example, you know, just like what if you wanted to monitor your CPU or something, or, you know, your RAM, or I don't know, whatever. It's kind of hard to see from my angle, but I think you can kind of make out what it's saying. And honestly, graphs are where this actually makes somewhat more sense, I think, just because it's a more still image. It's just at an unreasonably low quality. I also want to try to see if I can bring over your Spotify, or in this case I'm using Tidal. But yeah, you know, you could use this as like a nice little music player on your desk, you know, and skip your songs whenever you want to. Oh, there we go. The Switch was dimming there for a second. The screen was. Man, where did my cursor go? I just lost my cursor. It's gone. Okay, I mean, you could use these like side by side, you know, you have your task manager like that, and your music like that. And then for me specifically, you know, you could have your OBS window open here too. You know, maybe make this smaller. Put that right there. You put task manager, you know. Boom. So now you have like an incredibly low quality screen that you can use for just having some more still things open. I don't know why you would use this still, but for more still images and still settings like this, where you just have hardware monitoring, music, I don't know, OBS, it's weirdly almost okay, besides the terribly low frame rate, of course. Okay, and maybe I should have done this before, but I'm gonna try YouTube. YouTube.com. Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, let's try Crab Rave. Beautiful. Okay. You know, let's go ahead and full screen this bad boy. Look at that. 360p. The Switch is running it at like 1 every few seconds. Oh, this is amazing. This is literally a slideshow. That is unusable. And now for the final test, I want to try playing a game on it, and for this I have Forza Horizon 6. Now, I don't know why this is vertical. It does this every time I launch the game. I want to see how terrible this is to play on. I think this is going to be the worst thing yet, for sure. Okay, we are in. I'm using my keyboard because I'm too lazy to grab my controller. This is already awful. I can barely see the frame rate there. I appear to be in a Hummer. It's like really dim. Hold on. Okay, the screen just went dim. This is unplayable. This is this is quite funny though. It is technically working, just barely working. We're on the road. This is progress. This is progress. This is great. This is giving me a headache. This is like one frame every like 10 seconds. I think that's enough of that. I don't think that's going to get any better. So technically, I did turn my Switch 2 into a monitor, which is great. Is it any good? Definitely not. However, after Deskreen, spacedesk, and VDO.Ninja all failed, the jank website finally won in the end. Hope you enjoyed this silly little video. Bye.